Hello, hello, hello. It's another episode of Bridging Black Love with
Misha,
and Dr. Jacqueline.
we have our guest here, Xavier.
Hi, Xavier.
And what
Hey,
will we be
hey,
talking
hey.
about today?
We're going to be talking about, can men and women truly be just friends?
Hmm, can they be? That's a good question. You want to start us off, Xavier?
Sure, Misha. Um, to answer your question, yes, men and females can, men and women can be friends only without entanglements. I think it's possible. Um, However, the human element always creates, it just creates a little confusion sometimes.
Hmm.
What do you mean by confusion? Can you elaborate?
Well, confusion because one person probably really likes that person, but they just probably just falls into the friend zone,
Mm.
and they still want to continue the friendship in some form of fashion.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And they
So my
always, from the male perspective, they always think they got to change down the road, however long that takes.
you saying that the men feel that way in that scenario where it's a friendship situation?
Right.
Hmm. I would have to agree. I think whether or not men can be friends is very dependent upon how that friendship started. So if it was a situation where one was expressing romantic interest in the other and it just wasn't right timing wise, or that person wasn't interested, that other party is going to remain interested. And it's really just going to be dependent on the green light from that other person. So if the female or male is someone that the other party wanted to smash or be in a relationship with, I think that element is always going to be there. And therefore, it can't truly be a friendship, just in my opinion. What do you think, Jackie?
Well, I think men and women can truly be friends. I've had
Mm-hmm.
none of the men that I know that much, but I know that can be done. I
Uh-huh.
feel like I just feel like a lot of times, like you said, somebody's going to try to change the dynamic of that relationship. Especially the
Mm-hmm.
better you get along, the better you vibe with somebody. I think it's natural. If you are into, that person and attracted to them, there's something you like to be friends. There's something that attracted you to that person. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you are, you know, I think it's easy to become sexually attracted if that's, the gender you're attracted to. Like men and
Mm-hmm.
women. Like if you're a man attracted to women, women attracted to men, and you're like, oh, this is my, and I've heard it in different kind of, genders and, and relationship types. But honestly, if you're thinking that somebody's a really great person, I think there's an element of people that start to fantasize about what it would be like to be with somebody that I just really enjoy spending time with, someone that
Mm-hmm.
I think is really cool, someone that gets my jokes. They can be there through those difficult times, and they're a person I know is solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a natural inclination for that. Um, so I do think it's possible for men and women to just be friends. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah, I do as well. I actually have a couple really good male friends, and I think the reason why we're able to be friends is because it's always been platonic. Whether or not there was interest there at any point, no lines were ever crossed.
Okay.
And because I value that friendship so much that even if the situation presented itself, I wouldn't want to throw away that great friendship that we've built trying to explore something romantic. So like for me personally, I can be friends with a male, but that's only if lines were never crossed. So if you've been like outwardly flirtative or flirtatious or we tried to date and just didn't work out, then I think we could be friends. But if a line was crossed, then no,
Okay.
somebody's gonna try to change the element.
I do think that as well. And then I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes I was talking to somebody else about it, and they were saying, you know, somebody will usually catch feelings like Xavier said, but then they try to change the other person. Even if it was agreed upon at the beginning, we're just friends. That somebody will try to change the dynamic of that. What do you think, Xavier, about people trying to change the dynamic?
Well, yeah, they're just the emotion. It's just the emotion part of it, especially after sex has been involved. You know.
What if sex has never been involved?
Oh, the sex has never been involved.
Sex has never been involved.
Okay, well, okay, then that comes when, like, okay, when you just having, if you having regular conversations, like daily conversation, and then that person, you can talk to that person about anything, and then they're like, man, they really feel, they actually think like I do sometimes about just any topic, and then you just having these just random conversations, and like, man, we have similar interests there, but you're like, should I cross that line? And you know, it's depending on what that person like. Okay, well, we have all these similar interests. We think the same. We laugh at the same stuff. Why not? But sometimes why not shouldn't be. But I think it's just different when you have just a real cool interaction, because like you don't have no agenda. You just being yourself. You don't have no, how can I have sex with, what kind of strategic way can I have sex with her quick? And you just really just having a real genuine friendship. So it's gonna be kind of different. But then, you know, when that genuine conversation, it can become more on one side. But then it's just like who's gonna express first. This when you get into that. Do I express how I feel, or how she gonna take how I feel if I say this? You know, if I press that button.
Okay, so how would you feel if you felt in like, lust, you know, maybe love with your best friend, and she's with one of your good friends, and she's a woman? How would you feel if she said no? Not you. You're still in the friend zone. Don't try to escape. Like she hits you with a newspaper, say, get back in.
Go home, Roger.
Or she sprays you with water. No. How would you feel?
Good question. As a hunter, you gonna get yeses and nos. You're gonna get this always you just gotta keep shooting as a hunter. Is you gonna keep shooting at her, or you gonna just keep the friend zone, you know? But I still think as time goes on, it's gonna keep trying. The attempt's gonna keep going there. As a man, I just think so.
What if you're not attracted to her physically?
Both men and female have smashed somebody they weren't attracted to. It's all about timing. It's all about timing.
No, I've dated people that weren't aesthetically pleasing, but I had to be attracted to them in some form of fashion. For me, I had to be attracted to them in some kind of way. Misha, what about you?
So in some kind of way, that means what, the conversation, or what are you saying? Some kind of way. Like
there has to be something. I mean, I don't know.
So yeah,
it has to be something that draws me to them. But
for me,
everybody's not smashable.
Well, I'm sapio, so if I've developed a really strong friendship with somebody, they're probably intellectually stimulating to me anyway. If we're spending a lot of time talking on the phone, etc., it's because I enjoy the conversation. So if I think back to what Xavier is saying, given the right time, space, drinks, opportunity, singleness, whatever presented itself, there is that possibility. I think for me, the only thing is the risk of losing a great friendship is too great for me. So I'm going to stop myself from that attraction. But, you know, I hate to stereotype men, but, you know, the typical man, it's usually the woman is putting the stopper on. So if that woman is interested, it's probably going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I agree. I think it's just opportunity and timing, honestly.
Yeah.
Opportunity
Yeah.
and timing. But for those that are just, strictly platonic, Misha, I know you have platonic male friends.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a relationship and you have platonic male friends, and no lines have ever been crossed. Xavier,
Right.
do you have platonic female friends and no lines have ever been crossed?
Yeah.
You have no intention.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't want to even just cross that line, because when you value that person, and I don't know, I just never did it, but
Like the opportunity ain't been there.
So, do you have a female friend that you have no attraction to, and that you don't see yourself, crossing that line and out of friendship?
So I don't think like that. I don't know if it's no, that's a good question. I don't know. I just think if I want to keep it as a friendship and keep it just as a friend, I won't even put myself in that position or anything. I just know I wouldn't want to do that to myself.
So you're
Or
just gonna
to
stop speaking to her, or how are you gonna take yourself out of that position?
Well, I wouldn't. I would just keep. I would just keep.
Friends. You're like, sorry,
Like,
friend. Next.
Huh?
I said you're gonna be like, sorry, friend. I need a friend I can smash. Because you said you're not gonna put yourself in that position. You haven't said that there's nobody you're not like interested in like that.
So what I'm saying is, I would probably keep like group settings. I probably would be like, I would probably wouldn't do no one-on-one interaction. I'll probably just keep it social, like just keep group activities going on. Does that make sense, Jackie?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can we revisit the conversation about what if you did smash that friend back in the day and a romantic relationship just never ensued? Can you and she be friends? Can you really be friends with a person that you have smashed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Without smashing again.
I think that's possible too. I think that comes to communication. Just being real on where you stand. I mean, I think it's possible. But I still, like I said, I still think the human element in that aspect, knowing that you already had that contact, somebody's gonna want more as you continue to spend time or communicate. Like somebody gonna want to spend more time.
So that goes back to the original question, the original premise of this whole conversation. Xavier, didn't you say it's possible to be friends with just men and women?
Yes.
Men and women can just be friends?
Yes.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking that, because you just asked before Misha asked her question, did I understand it? And I'm not really following what you're saying, because you're saying men and women can just be friends, but you're saying, it sounds like to me, so clarify if I'm incorrect, that and you don't think so, unless there's something that's physically, there's an obstacle that's keeping you from wanting more with this friend. So in that context, can men and women really truly be friends?
So to answer your question, if you make up in your mind, I just want her to be my friend, and vice versa, yes, you can make that happen. But it's still, like I said, I still think being human is like, I just think you can be just friends. You can just be friends. But it can happen. It can happen.
Okay.
I don't know how. And like I said, I just
Okay, take your time, like in church. Take your time.
Right, take your time, brother.
Take your time, Dave. Go on.
I know it can happen, but I just trying to figure out the point of just why would you just want a friendship? What's the reason why you just want the friendship?
I mean, that's. I mean, I think it's personal for each person. What do you think, Misha?
I mean, for me, I want the friendship because I really enjoy the male perspective. an honest male perspective, and that usually comes from a man that I haven't smashed and who is genuinely a friend and want to see me be happy with other people, happy in life in general. I don't think you can get that honesty, that male energy without the sexual tension when you're not just friends. So for me, that friendship is of utmost importance because yeah, I mean, the perspective that other women give you is great, but you can't get a male perspective from a man that you're either in a well, you can, but I don't feel like you get the rawness from a person who you're in a romantic relationship with or who you've smashed before or who wants to smash you. I think the perspective that I get from a truly platonic male friend is more invaluable than any other male perspective. So to me, I would like protect that friendship at all costs because, you know, trying to smash and seeing if there's romantic chemistry isn't worth losing that friendship. So yeah, for me, as long as we never cross the line and I go back to my relationship boundary rules, as long as I always feel comfortable inviting you to my wedding, around my significant other, you can come to barbecues, we can go on double dates, then you are my platonic friend and I have no plan to be smashing you ever.
Yeah. And I have a new, just very platonic male friend, and it's good to be able to talk about certain things. You know, I'm not always the most vulnerable with men, so he's just really easy to talk to, and we really go through a lot of things, and some things that I feel like I would be judged upon by somebody who sees me as a possible romantic partner, even though I'm their friend, might judge me on that. Whereas I feel like he's being real. And it's not a lot of judgment, like it would be if somebody wanted to date me, because then they'd be like, "Girl, you got problems."
So how did this friendship become though?
Oh, it started just like my and your friendship. Actually, it started on the internet, on Facebook. Yeah, started just like every other relationship that I have besides Misha. Besides most of my girlfriends, I meet them in different ways. But yeah, lately a lot of guy friends I meet on Facebook, on social media. And I have a lot of male friends growing up.
So do he stay in Seattle?
No.
Okay. In what?
I mean, would that make a difference, Xavier? If he stays in Seattle?
I'm asking, like I'm serious, like I'm trying to understand, like you saying it. If I can ask him that same question, he might feel something different. So
no, he'll tell you, no, we're just friends. We're just platonic friends.
Okay.
I do think distance helps with the boundaries. I do. You can't really get that same in-person FaceTime with somebody who's far away, which helps. It helps keep those boundaries in check.
Right. That's why I say. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah. It lends itself to you not putting yourself in positions that might lead to some sort of attraction.
Don't be trying to switch. Don't do me, Xavier. No, I know you are. No, but we even plan to take a trip together, and it's not like it's like, oh.
Oh Lord.
I don't know why you're laughing.
He's taking all the innocence out of this situation.
I'm telling you. Xavier, I don't know why you're laughing. I've hung out with you when I came to Dallas.
Misha.
What?
But it's totally different though.
Why?
Misha, what's your thoughts on that?
On what? On him being out of town or going out of town?
No, this trip they finna plan.
So I have a platonic friend. I'm not gonna name him right now, but I think we could go on the trip and it'd be nothing. For one, we probably hit up a strip club. I'd probably be his wing woman. It really depends on the lack of is it true friendship, chemistry, and boundaries in place, or is it kind of left in the gray flirtatious? Like, if there's flirtation and all of that, then I wouldn't do the trip. But like, if it's like a true friendship, I think we would just hang out like I would hang out with my girls. I still would call my man while I'm gone. Like, yeah, we would really be just hanging out. But now, if there's any gray area there and the drinks flow right, you know, if things could go in a different direction. But I just think it's dependent on the friendship.
Okay. Okay. So y'all, so you live in Dallas. Say for instance, he live in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and y'all decide to make a trip to Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Never, never been around each other, but y'all take a trip to a different location.
Yeah, and do we have separate rooms?
No, same room. Y'all friends.
Okay. So again, that goes to boundaries for
Right.
me.
So that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I would definitely not book. I would not stay in the same room. I would definitely,
no,
because that's what I'm saying. Like you
I
can't.
probably wouldn't.
But Xavier for me, even my female friends, I don't like to share rooms with them either. So I mean, it's not like it's like, and they're my platonic friends. Like my
Right.
female friends, I'm an only child. I love my own space. If I can get a separate room for my kids, I probably would. Like it's not anything like,
Mhm.
it just is what it is.
So yeah,
So that's not a big deal to me. It's up, so
right. Yeah, separate rooms. I mean, you're just gonna hang out like you would have hung out if you were in the same town. Like we would probably like go again, strip club, have fun. Like I probably would turn into his wing woman.
Right. And if we do have, like to offset costs, it's we're still in the middle of a pandemic. If we wanted to offset costs, we can get like a double suite. My friends and I do that too. Like you have your room, I have my room.
Or Airbnb.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just have to be that complicated.
I want keep us posted on this trip. Yeah.
Xavier, I think you make a good point, and I hate to sound sexist, and I know this is very sexist. I do think that if the woman has decided that it is platonic, it is more likely that it will stay that way.
Right.
Right. So Xavier, you don't think you can go on a trip with Misha or myself and it just is a trip?
So what? So,
you think you can go on a trip with Misha or myself and it's just a trip?
I wouldn't do myself like that.
What?
I'm not gonna do myself like that, period.
Oh my gosh, Xavier, we just talked about going to Atlanta last week. Now I know we can't go to Atlanta.
But we had to do like a group, like you had to do like a group event.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be like a group event.
He like basically he don't trust himself.
So again, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you off.
I do not trust myself.
So again, my question to you is: can men and women have platonic friendships?
Yes, you can, but you should not position yourself where you know what your kryptonite is. Like, just don't do that. You don't put no junkie in the damn crack house and expect him to not get the goddamn crack pipe.
Oh Lord.
All right.
Okay. Do that make sense?
After this insight.
Do that make sense? Do that make sense?
Yeah. Just somebody.
No, it makes sense.
I get what you're saying, Xavier. I totally get what
you
saying.
have to put those boundaries in place, and you have to know yourself.
And that's
if you know when 2 drinks get to flowing, you're gonna get weak. Don't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and I respect it. So, Misha, has your perspective changed at all with this enlightening conversation that men and women?
No, it kind of validated what I thought. Thank you, Xavier.
Oh,
it kind of made my point.
I really do think it's just timing. Like, I think you can be friends, but I think, like Misha said, if the woman feels like, and I think it's some men that it's just something about the woman that they just know they just can't deal with her, not even just attempting. But it's just highly unlikely.
I agree.
But I think for women, women do have to have some kind of connection for them to give their body to you as a man. True. They, like you said, you got to have some kind of connection, either conversation, the attractiveness, or it got to be something for a woman.
All right. Well, thank you, Xavier.
I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman though, so I just go by experience though.
Yeah, we know you're definitely not a woman. We know. But thank you so much, Xavier, for
Thank
hanging out
you.
with us today.
No problem. I really don't like this topic because